Hello, my name is Dr. Stephen Critchlow. I'm a consultant psychiatrist. I've also been a church pastor. And I'm talking on the subject of depression in these 5-minute video series. And today I want to talk about some very important research that was done by Professor Patricia Casey from Dublin. And what she did, she put out a paper called the Psychosocial Benefits of Religious Practice. And what she'd done was she researched 300 papers that looked at the topic of religious practice and mental health. And what she found was that those who regularly practiced a religious faith actually had significant benefits. For example, they lived actually longer, and their marriages held together better. They also had less suicide as a group and less depression. They coped better with loss and bereavement, and young people did better in terms of less drugs, alcohol and other problems as well. And so those 6 significant benefits of those who regularly practiced a religious faith. Now, of course, she's saying practicing the faith, not just believing something. Those who regularly practice their religious faith have those significant benefits. And that is very interesting. And I find that very interesting coming also from a Christian perspective. Of course, not all of those papers would necessarily be related to the Christian faith, but very many of them would be. And I like to think also of 6 very significant benefits that there are in the Christian faith, because I think the Christian faith is a wonderful faith. You see, the first thing that it says to us is that we have tremendous value. Some years ago, I visited India and I worked there for a short period of time with the Dalit people, who are the untouchables. They're the pressed down of Hinduism. It's in a sense, in the Hindu faith, you're related to different parts of the Hindu gods, but the untouchables are felt to be under the feet of the god. They're unwanted, they're despised, and they do all kinds of horrible jobs. But around 2000, many of these Dalits began to search for a better way in life, and many of them became Christians, and some also went into Buddhism. But when they opened the Bible, on the very first page, they found this. Instead of being under the feet of the Hindu god, they found that the God of the Bible said, "I've made you in my own image." That's Genesis chapter 1. God had made us in his image. In other words, we have tremendous value before God. He thinks very highly of every individual. Secondly, we know that not only do we have value, but we're also very, very loved. The most famous verse in the Bible, for example, is, "For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him would not perish, but have everlasting life." And God is saying there that he really, really loves every individual. And you say, how do we know that? Well, that brings me on to the third point, that Jesus actually died for us on a cross. He gave his life voluntarily. And on that cross, he was taking away our sin and bring us the third thing that is wonderful, which is forgiveness. And the third wonderful thing about the Christian faith is that whatever we've been into, whatever we've done, we can be absolutely and fully forgiven by the God who loves us. The fourth thing is that God gives us a tremendous sense of purpose, because God has said, through Jesus, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind and strength, and love your neighbour as yourself. That gives us tremendous purpose and direction in our lives. A fifth wonderful advantage of the Christian faith is this, that we have a community of brothers and sisters who love us and care about us. In our own church, our motto is love God and love people. And I like that because there's a sense of being loved and cared for by that community. I know that's not always the case. But sixthly, sixth major benefit of the Christian faith is this, that we also know that the new power within us. Because the Holy Spirit, you see, has come to live in us. When we invite Christ to come and live in our lives and be Lord of our lives, he comes in the power of his Holy Spirit, and that gives us power to live a new life in him. And all those advantages are so significant in our Christian lives. Thank you.